Right, so I haven't done a video for a while, so I thought I'd do one. Didn't know what to do, so I have a train simulator, which I sometimes go on. I travel on a train every day and have done for 11 years, so, you know, try and have a go, see if I can do it any better. Not usually. But this is a train. If you hadn't already guessed, we're at Manchester Piccadilly station. It's a Class 170, I believe. I'm not very up on the trains. I travel on them, I know what they look like, but I don't really know the classes and all that. It's got lots of buttons. I know what most of them do, the important bits anyway. I'm not a train driver, I'm not an expert, and I'm not a train spotter, so I don't have all the information that I probably need to give you all the heads up on all these bits and pieces. But I can tell you that this is the DRA, or the driver reminder appliance. It's red, which means it's on at the minute. This stops me from accidentally going forward and putting the accelerator on. It's to remind me that I've stopped for a reason and to double check before I pass off. This tells me how fast I'm going. This is my brakes, and I've got 4 bar of pressure on my brakes, so they're on pretty hard. I've just taken over from another driver, which is why that is on at the station, so that it doesn't wander off anywhere without me setting it all up. These lights on the side here no doubt show me things like the doors being open and which door controls are on and off. This is my reverser, that's the thing that makes you go forward and backwards. And this is the control handle, which has got the power coming towards you and the brakes going away from you. Here we've got the TPWS, I can't think what it says, train something warning system. It warns you if you overspeed, if you go over a red light, SPAD, signal passed at danger. This is an AWS, which is probably a something warning system. Again, I'm not really hot on it, but I know that you have to push it to clear the warning, so that's all good. You'll see me doing that. This is the radio that they use to communicate with the signalman and control, and these are door controls. There's the horn, which I'll probably sound in a bit as well. So you get the idea. It's a train, I'm going to drive it. If I crash or something, well, you can laugh at me. Hopefully I won't. I made the scenario myself because I couldn't manage to get any of the scenarios to work because they all needed extra things that I haven't got the money to buy, to be honest, and I had to get all these different routes and trains just to be able to run them. So I made my own. That means there's no traffic on it, so it's not pretty, it's just me, unfortunately. I can't remember exactly how I did this because I did the scenario about a year ago, so let's hope it still works properly. But it's based on me travelling on it regularly, so it's like a real life scenario almost, with a bloke who doesn't drive trains for a living. Anyway, without further ado, we'll turn that off and we'll let the passengers on. And this thing down here shows you it's like a timer, and you got to wait till it gets to the end, and that's when all the passengers are on. Word of warning, I'm using a mic which is a DJ mic because that's what I normally do, and you have to hold it in your hand, so I'm going to be driving one-handed, which probably makes things more challenging, I guess. Okay, you got 2 buzzes there. That's the guard telling me that it's time to go, and I buzz back at him. Now I'm not going to buzz properly because I don't seem to have a shortcut key for this buzzer on this train, so rather than me one-handing it like this all the time, that's what the driver would really do to say he's going to go. There you go. Right, so let's go forward. And off we go. Now then, we've got speed limits about the place. You see them here, 35 miles an hour, 25. I happen to know that the speed limits here are fairly low, and we're going to Oxford Road, which is only down the road, so there's not much point in booming it too hard. I'll no doubt expect that, well, I know from experience of being on them, that real train drivers are clever enough to be able to get up to high speed and brake quickly enough to make the most of the speed limits, but I'm a train noob really in that respect, so I'll do my best to just get through here and not go over the speed limit, which is always the challenge. So we are 16 miles an hour. Along we go. This, by the way, is Manchester, if you've never seen it before. Going past the University of Manchester. We'll be passing over Oxford Road in a minute, and various other streets whose names escape me. Sackville Street, maybe. Not good with the streets. I pass over. There's a car park on the left here. There's a university on the left, the University Gatehouse. This is the car park. I'm probably going to start going over the speed limit if I'm not careful, so let's just... There's a 20 mile an hour speed limit coming up. Platform 3 apparently, which it doesn't normally go in on. That's just because I didn't know how to do the scenario properly. Would normally go in on, I think, 2 maybe. The one on the left anyway. Oh, and actually no, the one on the right. Deary me. So, slow down. There we go. The only thing I don't like about Train Simulator 2016 is the fact that when you're using the keyboard like I am, they don't have the notches, because this train has a handle with notches on it. It would be nice if I could just press the key once and it would switch to the notch, instead of having to press and hold it and listen for the notch, basically. Oh, I'm going over the speed limit. You see, so, you know, I have to try and listen for the clicks to know where I'm at, which is a bit annoying, but... Okay, I believe 1 and 2 bars usually considered good. 1 bar's a gentle brake, 2 bars not too bad, 3 bars pretty much grab onto the handrail type braking. Here we go, if I can get this thing to slide in here nicely, that would be good. I've not done badly there, considering I wasn't paying attention. Go on, stop on the 1 bar just to make me look good. There we go. Well, that wasn't bad actually. Well, I don't think it was. I've probably stopped in the wrong place. There are stop boards all over the shop, these numbered boards things, and they tell you where you're meant to stop. I don't actually know, which is pretty bad of me, how long this train is. I think it's a 6 carriage, maybe, or it could just be a 3. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I think that's number 2 notch as well. I don't really know. It's a shame it doesn't do the notches on the little hood instead of doing percentage, which doesn't really mean a lot to me. Of course, if anyone watches this who knows a lot more about train sim and wants to help get me all geared up to know what I'm doing, I do appreciate any comments telling me of any shortcut keys or any other tricks that I need to know about, or extra software that makes it a bit more realistic or whatever. It may just be this train doesn't do it, I guess, but I'm not going to go too fast here, but I know I can get up to about 25, 30 odd and then slow down again. Got apartments on the right. For those of you that know Manchester or a little bit about Manchester, on the right here is the Hacienda, or the Hacienda Apartments as they're known there on the right as we're going past now. And this is Deansgate train station that we're approaching at 20 miles an hour. Oh, I can boom it a little bit now. Probably not that much throttle, but I don't know about wheel spin. I know wheel spin is an issue, so I don't really want to boom too hard. And we're going to slow down to 25 again, so that means a lot of handle action around here. Go on, slow down on your own. No, it's downhill, okay, so I might have to give it a bit of a... You got to watch your gradients, because obviously if you go downhill you're going to pick up speed because you're in a big heavy train. Come on, come down, come down, come down. There we go. We just got to get us around this corner. 35, that's okay. I'm still in the 24. Oh, see what I mean? Got to watch it on there. Okay, we'll be in 30 in a minute anyway, but still don't think I'd do bad for someone who ain't got a clue. And I'm one-handed. They're saying that the train driver would be one-handed because that's a good point. Yeah, they only drive a one and two on these trains, so I can't use that as a good excuse, really, can I? The other hand's used to push buttons, so that's good. Okay, so far all good. Green signals everywhere. I'm sure that's every train driver's delight. Right, we'll start to accelerate a bit now at 30, and we're going to go into an 85. So we could probably take advantage of this and get some speed up. Our next stop is Birchwood. And then I don't know how... this doesn't go all the way. The scenario, I believe, I stop at Warrington. So it's only a short one. I don't want a massively long journey that's going to bore you to death. But it's going to give you an idea of what Train Simulator looks like and what it's like seeing me drive a train. And it might even make you decide that you want to do a bit of train driving, maybe. I don't think I'd ever be a train driver for real, but certainly it's quite interesting when you commute all the time to have a go yourself, to see how difficult it actually is to try and keep to time. And keeping to time is incredibly difficult, as I have found out when I have two scenarios that I made, which I was quite proud of. This one, which is the high speed, and then the all-stopper, which is incredibly difficult because the thing's so slow. Getting up and down from speeds, it can get a bit challenging, to say the least. And if I remember rightly, I made this scenario become challenging because it's based on my own real experience as a passenger. You tend to pay attention more than you probably wish to admit when you travel all the time. You know, in fact, I know my route knowledge is based on just travelling on it. When it breaks a certain way, I know where I am based on how it breaks. How bad is that? But geekish, I know, but I know when I'm getting near home because of the way he brakes, or she brakes. Right, this is a downhill and it scares me always because you very easily get too fast down here. Come on, this 85 feels like it takes forever to arrive. Come on. Right, I'm probably safe to let it off now. Again, because I'm talking and not paying total attention. It's very easy to get. Here we go. Right, let's wang it up. There we are, full volume. That should speed things up a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit slow through there. So, pings to let us know the signal's in green. If that made the alarm went off, it would be warning me that either a speed change was happening or that I was going to have a yellow light to inform me that the next one's going to be on red. So I need to be ready to slow down. And we're just passing the Metro Link stops on the right here. It's called something beginning with P, Palm Olive or something. I'll go past it every day. Palmer Square perhaps, or something like that. For those of you who have spotted it already, there's Old Trafford football ground up on the right. We're heading towards it here. Let me get my mouse, just for those who haven't spotted it here. Old Trafford, we're going to go past it. It has a platform. It also has a train station of its own. And next door to it is the Old Trafford freight area. And I see a yellow signal. So we need to start backing off. The yellow signal on this line is never a good sign because it usually means that you're stuck behind the all-station stopper that's running late, and then the fun begins. So I'm just going to gently back off. It's probably going to whine at me any second. Okay, I've acknowledged it. We've got an amber light. There's the train station, look. Unusual you ever see anyone on that platform. And on the right here, you can see there's the way into the goods yard where they have all the containers that come in on the ships that they pull the freight about with. And your EWS or whatever are based in there. What's that, English Wales, Scotland or something? I think you've probably seen them. If you've ever seen a train ever, you'd have seen one of those. Unfortunately, because I haven't got all the fancy gear that comes with this, so I don't have any of the trains or the traffic. If you get somebody's, you can download people's scenarios that are a lot better than I am at this, and they've obviously got proper traffic to timetables and all sorts. I made this myself just literally because it's how I experience it when I'm in it as a passenger. I've no idea if it's totally correct to a driver, but I'm imagining they get all these yellow lights in very much the same way when they get stuck behind it. Now I don't know if this is probably too slow for most drivers, but obviously I don't want to go too fast because obviously the signal's on yellow, so the next one possibly going to be on red. I'm thinking 40 miles an hour might not be a bad idea here because I don't know how fast this thing will brake, nor do I want my passengers to have their necks dislocated. Oh, it looks like we're going to have a signal on the end of the platform. Oh, but luckily it's yellow. I'm just going to go down to 40. That was a bit of a harder brake than I'd wished for. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to try and maintain 40 miles an hour. That seems a good stopping speed. Okay, this is Old Trafford Station. Trafford Park even. There you go. Okay, yeah, we'll just keep it there. That doesn't seem a bad place, does it? Now then, the way this usually goes is if you're stuck behind a train that stops everywhere, the chances are, if I'm really good, and what I've noticed a lot of the drivers seem to do is they'll try and pace their speed. So like this is doing 45, and if they pace it right, they can happily roll along at 45 until the stopping train gets out the way, and then they can just boom it right up to full power again. Otherwise you're going really fast, braking hard, really fast, braking hard. I can see a red light from here, so we're going to have to stop unfortunately this next one. Now I don't know how soon I should brake, but it doesn't look too far away, so I'm going to go for 2 bar at least. No, let's just go for... No, I think 4 bar wasn't a bad call there. That signal's a bit closer than I'd imagined. We can always back it off. There we go. Okay. 1 bar. Going slow. Yes, so we're going to have to stop at this one if we don't manage to crawl up to it before it turns to yellow. Yes, I see it. And that's got a feeling we're going to have to stop at it. Ugh. Shakes fist at Northern Rail. Oh, there we go, we got yellow. This is the first Transparent Express, for those that don't know the trains that travel up and down here between Manchester and Liverpool. It's the express train. Only stops at a few of the stops, whereas the northern ones stop at every stop and are an old diesel. This is quite a new diesel, electric, and they go quite fast, so you get about pretty quick, and they're quite comfy as well from a passenger point of view. So we go zooming along. It's 85 all along here for the most part. I think it goes to 75 near where Birchwood is. So we can pretty safely go along here until we get to the next signal at least. Bearing in mind the other one was yellow, this one that might be red or it might be yellow. And as we don't know, it's probably safe practice to not go booming it. I don't know, I've always wondered if there's a rule for drivers that if the signals are on yellow, they have a rule that you only go at a certain speed, or if they just go based on their route knowledge. But I have watched a chap's videos on YouTube, which is great because he's a real driver and he drives his simulator, so it gives you an idea of what it's really like. So I've watched that for some tips, but you know, there's a difference between watching somebody who does it every day and has a hell of a lot of hours of practice, and someone like me who's usually stood on or sat on the train rather than driving it. The hardest thing isn't making it go, it's making it stop nicely. And like I say, on this it's horrible because when I push the buttons I've got no real control over them, which is a shame. If it would just switch notches in one push, it would make driving it an awful lot easier for me and everybody else, no doubt. Again, if there is a way to do that, oh please somebody tell me. Because I would love to be able to have it do the notches on the keys rather than make me guess like I am at the moment with noise. There we go, go on. Come on, stop. There we go. So we've had to stop, bad times. And so we wait. Always the best. I guess we wait for a little while. If it doesn't change for some time, we would probably have to call the signal man and ask what's going on. But I'm gonna guess that there's a train in front, and hopefully it'll disappear. I can see something way off into the distance, which could be a train, or it could just be my eyesight. I don't know. Wear glasses, anything's possible. But yeah, that looks like it could be a train in the distance. It's certainly something sticking up. Could be stopped at a stop, which is a pain. I'll have to keep talking just to make it not. This is like a. Here you go. You're on a real train. This is the real deal, you know. This is and sadly what happens at rush hour, or to the times when things aren't running to time. You end up getting stuck, and you have to wait, and then you've got to try and catch up time, and it's not good times. This is sitting for a lot longer than I'd hoped. I hope something hasn't gone wrong here, because I don't remember putting anything in this scenario that was meant to be bad. Not this catastrophically bad, anyway. It'd be just my luck, actually, for something to go wrong in a video. It's not the first time things haven't gone according to plan. Oh, come on, go to yellow. Really? Oh, there we go. No. Okay, things are still working. That's good. I don't know. I don't know whether you're supposed to pull off at about 1 or 2 and then move up to 3 at about 10 miles an hour or something. Here we go. So I'm just going to go up to 40 again. There's really little point in booming, because I'm only going to have to keep stopping all the time. If I could clip each one of them on the yellow, that would be beautiful. Because at least I keep a steady speed and I don't lose any time having to start and stop all the time. Again, I'm sure real drivers, there's a way, they have a method, presumably to get the most speed out of the line. Just brake heavier, I guess. I'm not too confident with my brakes, you see, so I drive cautiously, which probably wouldn't be very good in the real world, because you'd never get home on time, because I'll be too busy coasting along instead of booming it. But okay, there is a signal coming just under a mile away. Again, I don't know what the braking distances are at what bar on this, but we're up to 40 now, so I'll just cruise along like this. Oh. There you go, a bit of horn for you. I think they do actually horn somewhere around here. I haven't really been paying attention to where I am. It's a bit weird when you do it and you're doing a video and you're talking. You're not really paying all the attention you should be if you were doing it and trying to do it right. I think we honk horn around here somewhere. Obviously the realism is pretty good on this, but it doesn't have all the houses and things on the right hand side where you'd expect them to be. That's assuming I'm where I think I am, and I have no idea where I am. If I'm honest, at this point I have got a little bit lost. Oh, there's the golf course. Okay, now I know where I am now. There you go. See, there is quite a lot of real route stuff here. I'm just going to honk anyway because I can. There we go. Now, I thought there were whistles. I don't know what the rule here is. I thought there was a thing called whistle signs, which showed the driver where they had to let the sounders off. Well, I haven't seen any on this route, so I don't know if they don't really exist, or if the drivers again have route training and they just know where they're supposed to honk the horn. I have no idea where you're supposed to honk the horn here, but okay, so this is it, Flixton, is it? Yeah, I think so. Your stopper stops there, but we don't. Through the yellow on 40 miles an hour. I'm not doing too badly, just cruising along. Yeah, another click. Again, listening for the click while I'm talking so I don't miss it. Doesn't tell me 42% what I'm on. 4 perhaps. Okay, running along. So yeah, this is Train Simulator 2016. I didn't really show you the game. I wanted to just get to the fun and not have all the loady screens and everything. I have no idea how much it costs. I bought it a long time ago when it was actually Railworks, I think. It's come a long way in that time, both graphically, scenario-y, routey and trainy. I don't know, you know what I mean. So the trains are better and more realistic, as is the gameplay and everything else. It's a simulator. I say gameplay, but at the end of the day, I am playing driver. I'm not a real one. Need more drivers to sort of make videos like this, really, and just obviously I know for certain security reasons they can't go into a lot of detail about a lot of things, but they could certainly give you some pointers on things like speeds, practices, you know, best practice for driving as realistic as possible, so you at least feel like you're doing it like they would do it and not just booming along at 100 miles an hour, which you really wouldn't do in a real scenario. I try to drive it based on what I hear and feel when I'm as a passenger. As I say, 11 years on a route, and you learn the route whether you want to or not. And I suppose it makes me more forgiving of issues, because although it really annoys me when I don't get home for an hour, not forgetting the driver also doesn't get to go home for an hour, you know, it just gives you a bit of an appreciation of how difficult it is to do their job with all these things getting in your way. Now we're approaching Earlham. There's a new power station opened here in real life. It's not on here because it was probably the route was probably made before the power station. The power station's live now. All the lights are on it and stuff, and I think it's due to launch officially in the next week or two. It's on the other side of the bridge there. The next stop will be Earlham. We're not stopping. But we are stopping at the stop after it. Well, actually the stop after it, Glazebrook comes after that. Right, now this warning here, I don't know what that's for. It always sends a sounder off, and there's a 75 mile an hour warning. Sorry, not 75. A 15 mile an hour warning sign to the left. Now, I'd never really noticed any kind of branch line coming off here to the left, unless there is one and I just haven't noticed it. But it always makes the noise, even though I don't see a left branch off. Not quite sure what that's about. Usually when you see an arrow, it means that if you come off at a set of points or whatever, there's a different speed limit. But oh, actually, no, I think I know what that is. Okay, so there's down here somewhere. There's a siding, and I'm wondering if that's a prior warning for that siding. That's the speed you go into it. And look, we've got a green light. You know what that means, don't you? No, it means the train that was in front of us has gone into that siding to let us go past. That also happens in real life, and hopefully you'll get to see it when we come down here. So I would like to be able to make better scenarios, but reason I made the scenario again is because I couldn't use other people's without having to spend a lot of money on lots of different add-ons and a lot of different trains. So I wanted to try and make a scenario that I could play that also didn't require me to have any more than the trains that were really needed for the scenario. There it is, look. So I've got this one, which is the Transpennon, and that one there, which comes with the route. When you buy the route, you get the train. This one on the left here, it's a Northern Rail. All station stopper pulled in there to let us go past. There you go, signal box on the right. Okay, next stop down here will be Glazebrook, and then it'll be Birchwood. And I think this thing goes as far as Warrington stops anyway. So we're nearly done now. How did I do? Well, I don't think I did terribly bad. It's a bit of fun, you know. It can be quite relaxing, can also be extremely stressful with the braking and the starting and stuff. But you know, I wouldn't go as far as say I'm an Uber train fan. But you know, like I say, you travel them all the time. You do have a bit of an interest in them. It's fun to drive them. You know, I like doing some of the speeding, naughty, not paying attention. And now you know why it's so very important that drivers have their attention on where they're going. Okay, on a downhill here, but I'm just checking we're not gaining any kind of speed, so I'm just going to let it coast. I think that seems like a safe bet at this point. Maybe a little bit more. I want it to coast without losing speed, if possible. It feels like we're on a down, but I don't know if we're on a downhill or not. So I should gain it rather than lose it. But okay, we're at 85, so we'll stay. Oh, we've got a 75. Right, here we go. Birch was on the way. A mile away with a 75 slowdown. So what I might just do now is what I've noticed here, for real, they start slowing down. They start braking, probably not too hard, but hard enough to notice. So I'm going to say, the notches are terrible on this. About there, I'm going to guess. And we start to slow down because we're on a hill. You tend to brake on, brake off, brake on, brake off, brake on, brake off. I don't know what the rule of thumb for the brake on, brake off is, at what speeds they come off a bit and cruise a bit. And I'm going to come off a little bit because I don't want to go so slow that I end up stopping. Okay, so we're rolling along at 50. Almost. Again, they do slow down here, I know they do, but I guess it's a route knowledge-y thing. And because it's on a downhill, I don't doubt that you would slide quite badly on the tracks here. I know in the winter, when you coming the other way, you get a lot of wheel spin. So it's a devilish stretch for bad traction. Okay, coming in. A bit more brake, I think 2 bar. Because with the downhill, it sneaks up on you pretty quickly. Before you know it, you've overshot the runway, as it were. Or overshot the... For some reason the word platform escaped me for a moment there, but yes, overshoot the platform. Oh, there was a bump in the track there, that was a bit unpleasant. Okay, a bit more brakes. Oh, wrong way, you see I get ever so confused with these controls. Right, there we go, slow down. Okay. Oh, come on, is 2 bar going to be enough? This is the bit that the drivers have over us wannabes. They know they can brake at a certain amount and they know they're going to stop in the right place. I really don't know where I'm going to stop, but one's nice because it's braking and smooth, and I can always wang a 2 on when I get, or a 3 if I get really desperate. Right, wang a 2 on. Back down to a 1. I've kind of sussed this bit. You kind of brake on, brake off, brake on, brake off. Wax on, wax off. Come on, roll a bit more. I don't know. I think let's pretend it's a 4 carriage train. We'll stop at the 4 stop. I might have that wrong actually. That might be 4 per unit, in which case I've just overshot. But not bad for a noob. There you go, number 2. Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? The passengers get on and off. See the little light went off down here to show that the doors are open. So we don't want to go anywhere while the doors are open. That would be bad. Oh, beep, beep, beep. Blue lights on. The doors are obviously locked. I've got the buzz from the guard. Here we go. Off we go. Oh, not done too bad, have I really? Yeah, not as exciting as me crashing and stuff, I know, but nice scenery though, and I have to admit I'm very impressed with whoever did the route, because it does look like the real thing, as best as you can do without going silly with it. I recognise where I am at all times pretty much. Obviously I have not seen the driver's view before, so I get lost sometimes, but out the window, you know, I recognise a lot of it. You know, like this mast for example here really is there, in that exact location. That pathway on the left is there. I've cycled down that many a time. There we go. Up we go, and I think the final destination is Warrington, which is how far? 2 miles away. Which we will be there soon. I would show you the outside of the train, but I don't actually know how. I need to read the manual to find out what all the buttons are. There are loads of buttons I know. I know the buttons I need to drive it, but there are buttons to do the cameras and stuff. So you can look around and see what's going on in the outside world. I turned off a lot of the HUD stuff so I could see the actual cab, because I prefer to use the proper instruments to see the speed and stuff. But there is like a HUD thing that shows you the slider and where it is. Again, it would be nicer, I think, if it said where it said 100% what notch you are on. With the trains that have notches, obviously those that don't use notches and have twisty handles, well, the 100% thing makes sense, but this one has notches, so it didn't make much sense to me. Right, 65 coming up here, so I'm just going to back off a bit. I don't want to overspeed. Maybe keep that on a bit. Actually, we weren't really gaining that much, were we? Well, we're gaining now, so let's keep an eye on that. So we don't go over 65, and then we've got to go 75, and I've got a feeling it goes down again or something perhaps before we get there. It's not a particularly fast line, this one, but that'll be Padgate Station that we're passing through now. Some people who know me will remember the rock shed was down here on the right hand side. And 65 mile an hour, here we go. Oh yes, there's a 40 mile an hour just after Warrington. Don't think we're going that far. Well, I'm not going to. I'm going to stop at Warrington even if this doesn't, because I don't want to bore you to absolute death. Okay. I don't know what speeds. This is the problem. I don't know what speeds are safe to approach these things at, and I don't know if there's a rule that you're supposed to approach at a certain speed. I imagine you don't want to approach stations that you're going to stop at too quickly for obvious reasons. But obviously timing is important, so I need to brake not too early and not too late. The fun of being a train driver. These people learn like the back of their hand. Oh, it's warning us about a speed limit change. Right, we'll back off the power. I think we'll coast in, because I reckon at this speed would be alright. The problem with it is we're on a corner as well, so I don't see the station until I'm right on it. There it is. Right, okay. I don't know when I should start braking, but I'm going to start now, because it'll come upon us real quick otherwise. Oh, there's the right signal box is there, and I know that that's the platform. Might have to brake a little harder on a downhill a bit. Oh, 30 mile an hour speed limit. You are joking me, right? No, you're not. Or is that for the other side? I'm not too sure actually. I think that's if we go on the other side. Doesn't matter anyway, it made me brake better than I probably would have done, so that's all good. I reckon I'm going to get away with this. Welcome to Warrington Central. Okay, 1 bar. 1 bar's nice, it's a nice steady brake. Even 2 doesn't seem to snap the neck too hard. You can roll them in on these. Again, I don't know where I'm supposed to stop. It'll be somewhere along here though. Oh, we're getting a bit of frames per second judder there. My old, this is an old computer by the way. Old graphics card. There you go. Open the doors. And that concludes our journey for today. Thank you for travelling with Badger Express. I didn't manage to damage the train or anybody else, and I didn't actually pass a signal when I shouldn't, and I didn't actually manage to overshoot a runway. A platform even. I fly as well sometimes, can't you tell? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to do videos of all sorts of weird things. I've got Second Life to give you some joys of, where you can see me in boats, helicopters and planes, which should be fun. And generally showing you stuff in the virtual realm in 3D, and you can see it. Those of you who don't brave going into that kind of place because of the more adult areas, etc, etc, I'll give you the safe tour of it, and I hope you'll enjoy. Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Do mind the gap between the train and the platform edge. Goodbye.